reminder. Okay, so I'm going to record this in case some people can't pop on. Like it's always a good time to chat with y'all. I was thinking this morning, I just wanted to thank you guys for being such good leaders. I know you guys show up every day for your teams, and I'm just so thankful and so proud of you guys. So I just wanted to say that really quick. And also, I know some people still be popping on, but I was going to pray for us. I was just thinking last night as I was getting some of my thoughts on paper that, as I don't know, it's like the last 6 weeks of 2019. And I feel like these are the most important weeks because how we finish 2019 correlates directly to how we start 2020. And I've just been really inspired by listening to Brooke Hemingway, Angie and Tammy and some of Angie's girls were all headed to that Align retreat in January. And she's been doing some coaching. And I mean, what I've paid for the retreat is worth even the coaching that she's put in that group so far, just because she just is on fire like all the time. And it's so inspiring, and it's encouraged me to like not just sit back and let things happen, but to really engage and invest and encourage people, and to not just view my back office as an area of avoidance, but to dig in and figure out who needs help. So anyways, let me pray for us really quick, and then we can chitty chat. Okay. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I just do want to thank you for this day. I thank you for the opportunity to meet with just such incredible people on the team. I thank you for their hard work and their diligence and their commitment to excellence, and the fact that they just show up every day and week in, week out, and that they're inspiring their teams and leading well and loving people and building relationships with people. I do want to just pray a covering and a blessing over each one of their families and their marriages. And also I want to just pray over their businesses and pray that as we finish 2019, that we would finish well, that you would give us wisdom, that you would give us clarity, that you give us vision, and help us to pursue with excellence the things that you've called us to. And I just do want to commit everyone to you. Thank you for this time that we have, and we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay. Well, I thought it might be helpful to have a couple things on my mind, but I don't want to do all the talking because I feel like that's boring, just a monologue. But I thought maybe we could just share, just kind of popcorn style, and share maybe a little bit about a win that you have. If you want to share your red dot where you're at. I know we kind of kicked off last month's call. Molly just kind of like threw it out there, just completely vulnerable. And it was a really, really good call. Just as leaders to like share where we're at, what we're thinking about, what the, what's on our heart, what's on our mind, maybe what you have. So if you're in a place, I know Carrie's taking a shower, so maybe not Carrie, but if you're in a place where you can hop on and share a couple of thoughts where you're at, I think that would be really awesome, because the cool thing is I feel like as leaders, we make each other better, right? We encourage each other, we inspire each other. And I was listening, Angie and Amy and I were chatting, and Brooke said that she and her leaders, she's like, we're like glue. She's like, we're like family, and we are working together to lead our teams. And I was so inspired by that thought. Like, if we have clarity and we have vision and we're like on the same page, like that is a powerful force as a team. So anyways, I'll stop talking. Angie, I know you're up and on, and Melody too. So I don't know, Angie, do you want to go first? Just gonna share where you're at with things.
Sure, I absolutely will. Okay, so I am just super excited about going to this next Align retreat, and I will just show you guys, like, this is my work for the day. Like, I already have her books out, the things that I had gotten from the first retreat, and then this last 60-day thing. And she has encouraged me so much to literally like get out of management mode, because I feel like I had gotten into a place where I was just trying to work with my people, because our team grew so fast, so big, so fast, it felt like, since April. And I felt like I was just in management mode. I was just doing all those things. And I get into a pickle where I'm not literally doing my IPA, where I'm not cold messaging or just, I don't even like to call it cold messaging, but just reaching out to people. And so a couple weeks ago, like it just hit me, you need to do this. You need to stop telling your people to do it, and you need to do it too. And so I did. And the Sip and Glow, I had 8 people buy sample packs from me. And I've had 5 people buy the 3-day. I've been able to sign up 2 people in the last couple days. And just like, I know that's where my strength is. Honestly, my strength is doing my individual work. But yeah, I was trying to put it into this management mode thing because I do want to help my people, obviously. But I would just encourage you guys to make sure that is what you're doing, that you're doing your own individual thing. Like my numbers don't look like, I'm not adding 10 or 15 people a month anymore, but because I am working with my people, but my goal is always that I get 3, and doing those IPA reach outs is crucial. I mean, I know that everybody gets to where they're like, oh, I don't want a cold message. And I understand that, but there's enough people that we've all been talking to. There's no one on this call that's brand new. And so there's people we can go back to. I was just looking at my Facebook this morning. I posted a bunch of pictures about my grandkids because we were all together this weekend. And there were people who popped up that were liking my stuff. I hadn't even thought about them for 2 years. And I'm like, oh my word. So what it told me is I need to go back to just like not just my Plexus posts, but my personal things. When my son and his wife had their baby last week, there were like 200 and almost 300 likes. I need to go back through that and see who is seeing my stuff and start engaging with them. So I don't know. I hope that's a little bit of encouragement. This isn't anything new. This is stuff that we all know, but we kind of forget and we don't do it sometimes. And so I don't know. I just know that for me, I need to make sure that my finger is on the pulse and that I'm doing the things for my individual business, because we know it's always better to have level 1s all the way across the board. So anyways, I hope that's encouraging.
Yeah, no, I thought what she shared when she said that, she said her quote was, as a diamond, if I am not personally sponsoring people and helping people go silver, my business will go backwards. And she said, we need to get out of this mentality that, well, I've already done that. Like I've done that for 4 years or 3 years or whatever. And now it's other people's time. It's like this, what did she call it? It was like a entitlement mentality. And like, now it's their turn. And I resonated with that so much. And I feel like, Angie, like you said, my strength is inspiring my people. There's some sort of like, I don't know that I believe in like this whole energy thing, but like I call it the Plexus energy, because when I am in personal recruitment mode, the team rises up. I don't know why. I don't know if it just inspires them so much that we're doing the scary thing or the uncomfortable thing or that uncertain thing where we're reaching out to people every day and we're sharing Plexus with people. It affects the team in a big way. And
Absolutely.
I'm excited to get that last 60 days thing. Is there any like copyrights on that? Because like I would love to mail it to every person that's on this call this morning.
Well, I don't know that there's a copyright, but I do know that she specifically said in her video when she gave it out that she's had a lot of people ask her for it. And she said, absolutely no. If you do not attend her retreats, you're not privy to the information. So I don't know. I can look through it and see if I see anything that says that, but that is specifically what she said.
Okay. Because I feel like the things that she's teaching, well, we'll just duplicate it. I mean, we'll just make our own resources, or we'll teach what we're doing because I think it's so valuable. But okay, before I talk about,
so I had this. I mean, I don't know. You may have done this too. I had it. I copied it front and back, and then took it and had it bound, and it cost me like $6.
Okay, nice.
But if they print it, it's like $60. So if we have an office, so we have a capability of printing front and back. That saved us a lot of money. We used our ink, but still, it didn't cost me $60.
It was $20. Right? We have a friends that have a print shop, and I'm picking it up tomorrow. So, yeah. Okay, we'll just popcorn style, guys. Thanks for popping on. For those of you that you didn't pop on right when we started, I just thanked everyone for leading and loving so well. Like I'm super proud of everyone. And then I prayed over you. Even if you weren't on the call yet, I prayed over you and your marriages, your businesses, and all that good stuff. So we're just kind of popcorn styling around the room and talking about kind of our red dot, what's working, where your brain space is, just because I feel like it's so valuable to hear each other's perspectives, and that we're a family, that we work together, and as a team we can be a really powerful force as leaders, and then duplicating that down to our teams. Melody, are you in a place where you're able to pop on and share a couple things? You can share a win or whatever's on your heart.
Yeah, actually, I was just going to pop on to what you guys were saying about doing the scary things in front of your people and how that inspires them. I don't know if you ladies do this, but I'm in a place where I have a lot of ladies that have gone through really slow seasons. And so I felt like just doing the things together was super important. And so we've had a message thread going with our daily IPA. We just comment done. It's not a group for chatting or anything else. And we've been doing that for over a month now. And it's really, it's eye-opening and it's great. And people are like excited to get in and do the basic daily requirements. And I just feel like, I don't know, that's not really new, but I just feel like it's helped us so much, and it's helped them see, like, I get in there and I comment done like every single day. And I just want them to know that I'm doing this with them. You know what I'm saying? That's really important to me. So when Angie, you were kind of saying that, I was like, yeah, exactly. We're not like, it's not management. It's not, we're doing the same things they are, you know, alongside them. And I think that's really cool. And the other thing is these book studies, Megan, thank you so much for doing the John Maxwell ones. These 2 back to back have been really great for the ladies that have hopped on. And it's given me more of a talking point with them too. Like, okay, so what are you reading next? Like, what are you getting out of this? What areas are you being pushed in? You know what I'm saying? It's just been like so helpful. So.
And you've been hosting power hours with your people too, right? Didn't you tell me that?
Yeah.
And that's been helpful?
Yeah, it's been really helpful. I had a lady the other night. She's like, she messages me afterwards. She's like, Melanie, is that how you do your IPA? I'm like, mm-hmm. She's like, oh, it's so efficient. I never thought about that. Like, we did 20 minutes of this, 20 minutes of this, and 20 minutes of this. She's like, I got a bunch of stuff done. You gave me message examples. It was hilarious because I'm like, oh, well, I learned that from Megan. So anyway, yeah, it's good.
That's awesome. Who else? Let's see. I know Carrie and Melinda were in the shower, so maybe not them yet, at least. Amy, are you in? I know she's in the car. I don't know if she's able to pop. Or Cassie. I think Cassie has kids up.
Hey, I'm in a car, but I can drive a little bit. I got all my babies. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
The question is, what are we doing that's working?
Yeah, or just share a win or some, like where your brain space is here, like the last, 6 weeks of the year.
Yeah. My team, we're in like a super slow season. I feel like we always are when there's awesome things going on. I'm like, we can get points for all the welcome packs, and we've added 2 this month, but that's kind of how it works in Maine sometimes whenever there's holiday seasons or whatever. So what I'm just doing is really focusing on being belly to belly with them and loving them, and running with whoever wants to run. And for me right now, it's a lot of new people. My seasoned leaders a lot of them have a lot of life stuff going on right now. And so I'm loving them where they're at. So I'm just looking for cops because I'm holding my phone. But I'm doing every Wednesday, we're doing like an 11 to 2 IPA time. Anybody's welcome, and we just have snacks, and we just usually the first hour is visiting and then the last 2 hours we're doing IPA, and our team is super excited about that. And so we just did the first one last week, and like 6 people came, but like 4 of them are brand new, so it's a lot of very back to the basic stuff, but it's good and they love it. And then we're doing soup suppers every month, so this will be our second one tomorrow night, and just to be with them and to love them and to encourage them and to try to inspire. I feel like that's where we're at right now, is like Brooke Hemingway says a lot of times we're paid to be hope dealers. And that's what I feel like my job is right now, more than ever before. But I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of what I'm trying to do for my seasoned ones who have life stuff, and then for my newbies who are excited. I'm just running with whoever wants to run and linking arms with whoever wants to link arms, and kind of putting my head down and doing the things, I guess. I don't dare talk anymore until I get to school.
That's awesome. All right, who else is in a place where they're able to pop on? And I know last month Molly just like opened it up and was super vulnerable. She just shared her red dot. I don't even remember what it was. It was like maybe that I don't know if she was discouraged or just like was open it up, and it like opened the floodgates for us all to be like, oh my word, we're the same way. So don't feel like you have to just be on this high pinnacle of like top of the world, because there's seasons where we can get discouraged, or we we feel like, oh man, I feel like I'm not doing the things that are impacting my business in a upward way. So anyways, you can be who you are and not feel like you have to be saying what everyone else is saying, because that's the beauty of this, is like it's for encouragement and sharing where we're at. Okay, Melinda.
I was going to say something.
Oh yeah.
Is that
okay? Yeah.
So I was going to tell you guys this. So I would also like what you guys are talking about. Find a way to get into your people's space and other people. So this is what I have this week. So tonight I'm actually meeting with Molly for late night coffee. She's coming to Chattanooga for something. So Kathleen and I are meeting her between 9 and 9:30 for coffee downtown Chattanooga. Tomorrow night we have a Taco Tuesday. Super duper excited about that. We're doing that every Tuesday this month. And then at the end of the week, I'm having my team retreat. Now listen, I'm going to tell you guys this. At the beginning of November, I said to my people, I'm having a retreat. I just like threw it out there. And I have 2 people that are coming from Missouri. One is driving like 11 hours and they're carpooling together. And she's picking up the other girl who's 8 hours away. Don't like underestimate the thought of, oh my gosh, people could come. So I'm kind of in a unique situation where we own some Airbnbs, but still one of them is totally empty. It's not rented at the moment. So they're going to be like on air mattresses. The other one's fully furnished, but I have 11 people coming, and I just put that up at the beginning of the month. So don't underestimate the power that you could just like throw something out there and your people will come. And I specifically told them, this is an IPA work weekend. We are working our fingers to the bone. So we're going to have like carpal tunnel by the end of the weekend. So I don't know. I just wanted to say that, like, get in your people's space, get in other people's space. Like when you can get to an event, or you can just like hook up with someone for coffee that's like in your upline, your downline, your side lead, even if they're not even on one team. I would definitely encourage you to do that, because it inspires all of us and it pumps us up. That's me anyway. Gets my cheerleading spunk going.
For sure. Let's see. Lynn, Carrie, Melinda, Cassie, are any of you in a place where you're able to hop on? Melody says, I'm doing the things like crazy, and recruitment is so slow, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, y'all, our team is like one of the top teams in Plexus. So if you're feeling like, oh man, things are slow, well, it's kind of representative of everything. It's not just Privy. It's not just only you. So I think that the key is that we are plugging in and leading and engaging people and trying to love really, really well, because January's coming. That's my mantra. Cassie says it's very slow for my team and I. However, we are making plans to prep for 2020. Yes. I was so inspired with the little idea of like, don't show up at Super Saturday as a hot mess. Like that cracked me up, because I'm like, that's so true. Like so many people, I read a quote, so many people don't get started on their New Year's goals till March. And I was like, that's not going to be our team. I mean, it wasn't even a Plexus thing. It was just like in general, but let's not be behind the 8 ball, So, okay. Feel free to interrupt, guys, or if you're able to pop on, or you're putting on your makeup and able to talk or share. Okay, I'm going to share a couple of things. I'm in an accountability group with Jessica Heffley and like 6 other people over Jules, and that has been so helpful. I know, did you guys all listen to that Chris Harder podcast, hopefully? I listened to it twice. I know Angela listened to it twice. It was so good. And I'm just kind of repeating myself. If you guys didn't do the homework that I posted 2 weekends ago, go do it. Some of it you probably did at Leaders Retreat anyways, because it's that 2020 list. Where did I put that? Oh yeah, the homework. So the podcast, and then listing out, like Melinda was saying, she had her people do that and they couldn't even think of one good thing about themselves or one good thing about, reasons why to have money. And it was just an eye opener to me, like how many people on our team are struggling with their own self-worth. And if that's where their struggle is, they're going to have struggles in their business. And so I think it's up to us to lift the lid, to raise the standard, to engage and ask the hard questions, because once we ask the questions, they can't unhear those things. And so they will start, it's a seed planted in them. And, I feel like this is a business as ministry also. So yes, because we're engaged in working with people, it's messy. We get to learn that people have struggles. We have struggles. But I think the cool thing is we are all learning, and that we don't have to stay where we're at. We can get better. So anyways, I was just going to say, if you did the homework, congrats. But I think the bigger thing is, as leaders, we always need to be thinking, what can I get out to my team? How can I inspire them? So anything Jessica does, and Ryan Evans said the same thing. She's like, oh, I'm duplicating that for my people. She's like, I'm totally duplicating things. And so I feel like we have to just keep duplicating that down and not just do it ourselves, but get our teams on board to do it, even if you have to throw out a little incentive for people. I know a bunch of you are earning this book because you went and did the homework. It's called Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. And you could call it like a successful person if millionaire freaks you out. But it's really, really good. Jessica said she's read it twice. But yeah, so anyways, that's something I was just going to remind everyone to do and to have your teams do. I was inspired. I was prepping for this IPA Power Hour. I haven't hosted one of those for ages, but I feel like getting back to simple basics is where it's at. And like Angie was saying and Melody were saying, like doing it with our teams, and Amy too, host a soup supper, go to the coffee shop and make yourself available to just sit with people. And I feel like for here locally, we're spread out enough and everyone's really busy. It's kind of hard I don't typically have a lot of people show up to in-person events or in-person like IPA times, but the people that do show up, like it's valuable time because you're able to sit one-on-one, two-on-two, and just they're able to sit in your space and hear your brain space, how you talk. And I think for a lot of people, they have like mental blocks because they're not sure. They're uncertain. Like they're not sure what to say. But once you share, like it's this simple, right? Go listen to Brooke's Monday motivation call. That's another thing. If you haven't listened to that, go listen to it. And I feel like, I know Stephanie Watt told me, she's like, I'm telling my people, go listen to the training videos until it's how you think. Like Brooke's verbiage on inviting people, following up with people, closing people, like that has to be the way we think. Because it's just such a simple verbiage, but if we can start thinking and talking that way, and it comes through practice, right? Then we can be training and teaching our teams those things. But I printed out, that business building workbook that you can just print that out of the computer. And so that's what I'm going to train on this morning at the IPA Power Hour at 8:00 this morning. Is people need to fill in their bubbles. Like if they're saying my business isn't growing or it's slow, like they legit need to fill this out during the week and come back and tell you like what they did. Because I think a lot of people, they're not actually doing it. And so if they commit to the action, they're going to see the needle move forward. And I always say, I'm not letting people have the excuse that it's the holidays. I think anyone can go silver. Anyone can go silver again. And for the first ranks, silver, super silver, gold, people can do that any time of year because it's their warm market and they're excited. And we don't have to put this like lid on the fact that it's the holidays and it's busy. I mean, yes, there's more going on, but also it's opportunities because we're engaged with more people. So I think it's a completely beneficial bonus thing. And really everyone's busy. And so it comes down to the decision of whether or not you're going to work your business. And so I think we just have to encourage our people and say, hey, well, you can either plug in and be ahead of the curve come January, or you cannot plug in and say, I'm too busy and there's a lot going on, and you're going to be behind. You're going to be the hot mess of Super Saturday. So I think it's like us being willing as leaders. The sign of a good coach is that we push people a little bit and we give them our perspective and not just take like excuses for our answers. But anyways, I loved this definition of commit. It says to devote unreservedly. And I was inspiring myself when I was thinking through like IPA this week. I'm doing the IPA challenge this week. It's just my brain space, the things I think that need to happen this week in their businesses and the things that need to happen in my business. I feel like sometimes when I copy and paste like Brooks or something, I don't get a lot of traction with it. So I'm experimenting this week and seeing if I keep it super simple, super basic. I'm not putting out prizes for it either. People need to have enough investment in themselves and their business that they're going to go do the things and not just have to always have a carrot dangling, which I think carrots are fun, like they are, but I feel like I want them committing to it because they're willing to commit to it. But I was thinking about this commitment.
What was that definition again, Megan?
It says, well, it's to devote unreservedly.
Unreservedly. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. And I was thinking it's different. A lot of people, yeah, we all want to assign 3 people, or we all want or wish that people would join our team or that people would go silver. But it's like that extra step of like, it's not wanting or wishing, it's like committing. And I was thinking, I wrote down, it's up to us. Like we are kind of we're the catalyst, we're the energy behind our teams. And if we want them doing the things like, well, number 1, like we've been chatting about, we have to do it. And number 2, we have to we get paid to inspire people and to be truth tellers and to saying, well, are you committed? You're just wishing. Okay. Like if you're committed, you'll back it up with action. But this is where the areas that I've been working on myself is spiritually. I love my original Bible, that's King James Version, and like getting into the Word every day. Okay, it's simple things. I posted a Mel Robbins, basically her 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 thing. Just it comes down to as what did she call it? Microsecond decision of deciding to do it. She's like, we're never gonna feel like it. So it goes back to like, are we meditating on the Word? Right. The second thing that I'm working on is exercise. I exercised 5 days a week, or 5 or 6 times last week, like every day. Boom, got up and did my run. Did I feel like it? No, but I decided. Like actually listening to Brooke, she said exercise is what is linked to motivation. She's like, if you're not motivated, you need to go exercise. And I mean, she lives that, right? She's up at like 5 to go get her exercise in because she said, I know that my exercise commitment is directly correlated to the energy that I bring to my team, to my family, to my marriage, in all the ways. And I was like, man, that just inspired me because I'm like, I just feel like when I lift my lid in that area, like even in one discipline, it could be getting up on time. I know I was chatting with the people on Jessica's call, and I'm just like, I totally failed. Jessica put out hey, set your morning and evening routines. I failed every day. Like I didn't get up on time because I didn't go to bed on time and because I didn't plan my day well enough to get my stuff done earlier. So then it forced me to to stay up later. So, and I felt so discouraged. I was like, oh my word, guys, I totally failed. Like I'm not getting the prize for doing that. And Ryan said, she said that she had coaching with Preston Pugmire and he directed her to some sort of time management coach. And she said, I just brain dumped my everything to her. And she said, she scheduled my life. We time blocked it. And she said, all you need to do is work on one thing. She's like, don't try to, get your Bible stuff, your exercise. And she's like, let's start with getting up on time. Like when that alarm goes off, you're up out of bed and you're doing it. And that was just inspiring to me. Like pick one thing instead of overwhelming ourselves. Just pick one thing. Anyways, okay, so that was helpful. So spiritually, exercise. And then the third thing is IPA and point growth. Like Angie said, we were just talking about, Brooke was saying, like we don't have to as leaders at this point go recruit 15 people a month or 10 people a month. Like that's not how we necessarily need to spend our time. But we do need to at least be doing the adding 3, right? The power of 3 is super important. And so so that was just inspiring to me that Brooke said, I put it on a little sticky card and I put it on my whiteboard. If I, as a diamond, am not personally sponsoring and not personally helping people go silver, my business will be going backwards. And that just reminded me, like, if that's my intention, I can do enough IPA throughout my month in order to help 3 more people, right? And then the other thing is brain dumping. I don't know if you guys do that, but I map out my week on my calendar. I'm assuming you guys all do this, but if you don't, do it this week because it will help you put out your meal plans, put in when you're going to work flexus time, and brain dump every night before you go to bed. I a lot of times have like a sticky card and have like the top priority things. That way when you wake up and you're like, oh, what do I need to do for my business? You have it there. You can actually carry it with you, like throw it in your purse. Like I know some of you work full-time outside the home, so you can just keep that with you so that you can knock it out when you have a bathroom break or when you have a lunch break or whatever. So for me, printing the lists, where are my lists? I've shared this in the threads, but I was just going to share really quick. I think being organized, I mean, yes, business is messy, growth is messy, but for me, having my lists printed out was hugely helpful. So I have a list of my level ones, Justin's level ones, and then I have a list of anyone that's silver or above or has ever been silver above in the entire organization. And then I printed that out. So wanted to just say, like, with this re-rank bonus, we need to know who's eligible to re-rank. Like, I had forgotten about people, level ones of mine that were at one time silver. So that gives me inroads to reach out to them and to invite them to go silver again. So that's a huge area of focus for me this month, is personal sponsoring and figuring out who can re-rank. And obviously I have in my brain, people that are, worker bees, gold and above. I know who those people are, but people that were silver, super silver, maybe even gold, I think it's really important to know who those people are. And like Brooke said, she's like, at the end of the month, remember when we did that push thread? I'm going to do that again because I thought that was super duper helpful. It inspired people. It was just like bing, 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 bing. Oh my goodness. Like, I got another person commission qualified. It was so helpful. So I'm going to do that again. Just FYI, once the commission or the auto ships process, I don't know if we'll use the same push thread and then we just add new people to it, or I don't know. We'll do that again. But for helping people re-rank and things like that, and add their, get that little graphic made, be shouting your people out. Like, if every time they add someone new, use those little graphics that say, oh, excuse me, I grew my business by 5 points. I grew my business by 10 points. And it's because I feel like what we focus on, it expands. And if we are recognizing people for the things that we want to see more of, we're going to see more of that, right? So right. And then Brooke was saying she went through her back office. She's like, spend some time figuring out who of your people's people can re-rank, are close to silver, are close to adding their third person, and engage them. She's like, don't just let whatever happens is going to happen, right? She's like, send them their list. Say, hey, these are the people that can re-rank. They're not that far away. Let's help them do that. These are the people that have the potential to grow in points. Let's help them do that. So I just thought that was super duper good stuff, just helpful. And then I don't know if this would be helpful to you guys, but I'm doing with Jessica, she's sending us a weekend review sheet. And I was wondering if that would be helpful for like accountability for all of us. And it's basically just a simple sheet. It helps you reflect on the previous week, like what your wins were. And then it helps you game plan for the coming week. It's been helpful to me because it just forces me to think in strategic and specific ways. But one thing that's been really helping me is to identify the 3 big rocks. Like, what are the 3 big rocks for the week? And I, of course, have my to-do list that I have like on a notebook paper. But then on my planner, I actually have a pink sheet that says 3 big rocks. What are those things? So for me this week, it's creating the IPA challenge and doing it. Promoting the 3-day challenge that's happening next Monday, and also the men's health event. Like, I'm really needing to work better on making sure that I'm promoting events well enough in advance that people have time to invite people to them. So that's something I'm working on. And then getting organized with my prospects list. So I'm having my assistant print out my whole Facebook friends list and all of my customers, because that's another thing. Donna Leah, that diamond that's like the breastfeeding guru, has sold 25 of those 3-day challenges already. And she said a lot of them have been newer people that she's built relationships with recently, and also her old customers. So guys, all of those old customers that you have in your back office, you can engage them and help them get their orders in for that little 3-day Blitzy thing. I mean, just looking at numbers alone, if you message 100 people, you're going to have some people respond back to you. And I'll say, I engaged all wholesalers last week to invite them to the Sip and Glow. And guess what? I had a whole page of wholesale people respond back to me in the affirmative. Like, okay, I'd love to be part of that. And I offered them a deal for getting their 100 PV order in. I need to go back and check and see who did it. But I'm gonna engage with them again and say, hey, we have a little 3-day challenge coming up. You want to be part of it? And so my goal is, my goal with reaching out to wholesalers or customers is to get them to respond to me, right? So I want them to message me back, right? And if I can get them on a trial pack, if I can get them, well, obviously I want them with 100 PV first and foremost, but if they're not able to do that or whatever, I just want them to get the trial pack, right? And if the very, very, very bare minimum, at least be part of the group, because they're going to be inspired. They're going to see the community part of it. They're going to learn. They're going to gather some knowledge. It's fun. They could earn a prize. And there's also that social proofing. So one of the things that we're going to do from here on out is every time someone gets flipped from a trial pack person to an ambassador, they get shouted out on the group. And I really like how Brooke is doing. She's like, if you listen to that money motivation thing, she said the reason why she's almost triple diamond is because they do the 3-day challenge thing. It's not that hard. They do an IPA week, 3-day challenge, IPA week, 3-day challenge. And so I'm going to be as way more scheduled, I think, in light of doing the IPA, and then we host an event. Doing the IPA, then we host a little event, and we'll keep it in the same group. I know Angie's been doing this for like 6 months, where they just have the same basic group, and then they just scrub it after their week of their event. They scrub it, and then, or maybe they leave it up for 5 days while they do the IPA thing, and invite to the next event, and they scrub it and do a new one in there. So, and then they flip people, and then they shout them out. So I think that's just a super simple system. So, okay, who else has something they want to share? I know Gretchen popped on, maybe Cassie, Lynn, Carrie, or who else was on? Someone else was on, able to share kind of your red dot, what's working, what you're thinking about. We're talking about personally sponsoring people, like getting back to that. I know Jessica was encouraging us in the same way. For me, it's just organization. Because when I sit down, I mean, there's a million things I have to do, right? So last night, I got organized. I printed out the business building workbook. And because I gave mine to one of my new level ones on Saturday, or re-engaged level ones that's starting to work the business again. And then I just went back to the last story I did. There was over 250 views on that story. That was just on Facebook. I didn't even check Instagram. And I just made a list of all the non-Plexus people. And so that's going to be my reach out list this week.
Okay, well, since no one else is talking, I had another little thought. I would just say not everyone follows stories. I'm amazed by this all the time. I see a lot of people who follow my stories on Instagram, and then of course it carries over to Facebook. But as soon as I post something on, like this morning, I posted a post on Instagram, not in my stories. And several people who don't normally watch my stories liked or commented on my post that I actually put up, not in the stories. And so what I find is older people, like way older than me girls, they do not necessarily follow stories. But as soon as you put something on your Facebook wall or your Instagram page or whatever they call that, different people are seeing that. A lot of it is the same, but that's why I was like, oh, wow, we should be doing different. We should be doing both, because you don't know stories and the actual wall posting. So that was helpful for me. You guys probably already all know that, but for me, I was like, wow, I didn't realize that not everybody sees the stories. It's different. So there's that.
Well, I think sometimes putting out a post that's maybe not your style, sometimes the cheesiest posts are the ones that catch people's attention because they're like, oh, she doesn't, I mean, sometimes, I mean, because it's not your style. I know Jessica Heffley has said that too. Like, throw out something kind of cheesy, and sometimes it gets the most traction. I can tell you, I don't know if any of you are able to pop on and chat. Just interrupt me if you're able to, or just turn your video, and then I'll know that you're in a place where you can talk. If you can't, it's okay. I thought I would just share what the plan is for December. So next Monday is that little 3-day trial pack thing. So that's our big focus, is getting people engaged in that. And it will be in, I'm not going to do it in the Sip and Glow challenge because I can't change the title of that. Facebook won't let me. So we're just going to go back to the other 3-day blitz that we've hosted before, and we'll just scrub that and load everything into that page. But the goal is the first 3 days to get people engaged in that. I mean, sorry, this week is the goal, is to send out invites. I'm doing that little IP challenge to get people sending invites and getting them added to that, getting their orders in. And then 25th, 26th, 27th, like right before Thanksgiving, will be that 3-day event. And then the last 2 days of November, the goal is to flip as many people as possible. So I'll create that little push thread also, or re-engage the push thread. And then December, first Tuesday of the month is always the team call and new ambassador training on the team page live. The Monday 21 Laws of Leadership book study is still going on. If any of you are still maybe not engaged in that, those chapters are standalone chapters. So like you can literally hop in where we're at. We're on week 4, laws 6 and 7, I believe. Yeah, right? Let me see. Yeah, sorry, law 7 and 8. So I mean, the chapters are really good. I would say, even if you've done the study before, pop in, because we'll continue that through January. And then the next leader call is December 16th. It's a Monday at 6:30 again. So that's already scheduled. And then we're going to do our little team online Christmas event party thing that we did last year. And we'll do it in the same group. I'll just delete the videos out of that. I'm going to post that the last day of November, because people, in order to be part of that, have to have their 100 PV. I don't remember if there's any other requirements, but we need to make sure that, you know, if they want to be part of that, they have to have their 100 PV, and they can get that the last day of November. So that's when I'm going to announce that. A lot of people will still be in that group anyway, so it's not like we're going to have to try to get people added to another group. We'll just use the old group. And then if you're, oh yeah, this is the other thing. If you're game for participating in that, I guess let me know. I was thinking, we have so many rubies and above. You let me know. I don't really care how many people participate. I feel like last year it was about an hour long. And so I'm thinking it would be about the same. So we'll just pop on live, share a quick blitz testimony, do a trivia question, and then in order to be entered into the prize, I mean, each of us basically gave away some fun little Christmas gift. And you can legit rig it so your team earns the prize that you're gifting. So we'll figure out more details on that. And then the week of the 16th is when I was thinking about hosting. I think that's when. Yeah, hosting a little 3-day blitz, three-day event. I don't know if we'll still keep doing those trial pack things, or I don't know. Angie, what are you doing? Are you still doing the 3-day thing? Or are you going to be doing like another Sip and Glow thing?
Well, right now, so we're doing the 3-day this week and next week. That's just kind of how Amy and I worked ours. We haven't made 100% plan for December, but we were planning to do at least one. Originally, we were going to do the Sip and Glow again, but I don't know. I'm thinking that these 3-day trial packs are a way better deal. They can get 12 items for $20 plus the coupon. So I don't know. I think we should do the 3-day.
Okay.
especially with the new year coming up, because that's what everyone's goal is going to be, right? Everybody wants to get healthy. Everybody wants to lose weight, or maybe it's not even weight, but it's just still like, I take those products except for MetaBurn, and I'm not doing it for weight loss, but it just helps me every day. So that's probably what we're going to do. I can't
Yeah,
100%
I agree.
confirm that. Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah. You
Is
can't beat it. I
Yeah.
don't think you can beat it.
Is that called the Renew You trial pack?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Is that what you're titling your group?
Well, the 3-day sample box is what you buy, but then you can use that $20 coupon towards the Renew You welcome packs or combos, because they already have them in the back office.
Okay. Well, and then I know that they're starting like the Slim Down Challenge in January, but I think they're calling it Renew You or something like that. So it's kind of like big push till, January, when everyone wants to join for weight loss and stuff like that. So,
and
yeah.
You probably know this, Megan, but like corporate has, like, they did the whole 3 days. Like what Amy and I are doing in our group is exactly, we're taking that from Genevieve. Like she's posted it on the Jewels of Excellence thread, our page, and like all the information is there.
That's so helpful.
Working smarter, not harder.
Yeah. Well, it's nice that they're doing that, because I feel like it saves a ton of time, and that way we can be concentrating on inviting people instead of just being event planners and trying to create content every month.
Right.
Cool. Yeah. So that's kind of, I just have a super simple plan for December, doing a 3-day event the week of the 16th. Jessica Heffley and Tamara, I think it's Tamara, she is hosting a 3-day starting December 4th. So I guess maybe if you personally have people that you're inviting and there's not I feel like sometimes it's like that urgency factor. Like if we have people say yes to the 3-day pack thing, then I feel like they need to be put in a group immediately so they can start right away, not wait, 10 days to start the thing. So that's another option, is you could funnel some of your personal people into their group if you wanted. Their stuff is so ginormous. Sometimes it's hard to find your own people in it, but I don't know. It's still fun because it's high energy and there's lots of good stuff in there, I'm sure. I keep telling myself nothing is a failure if I learn. So I felt like with the Sip and Glow, it was a little discombobulated, mainly because I didn't have the content. I was like waiting for it to come out, and I should have just created my own or hosted it later so I could see like the whole flow of the content that was posted. So we learned, but maybe we'll repeat Sip and Glow in January. Maybe we could do like another, Renew You trial pack thing in January, and then maybe another Sip and Glow. Do you guys have any questions about retreat? I know that Angie, Tammy, and several of Angie's people are going to the Align retreat in January. So I'm pumped because I know we'll be able to bring back a lot. Oh, Carrie's going. We'll be able to bring back a lot for the retreat that we're hosting in February. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, wanted to see if there's any particular questions for anyone about that. What are the qualifications this time? Oh yeah, okay, so if you haven't seen the qualifications, so it's Ruby and above. So there's 2 ways to earn it, essentially. So there's Ruby and above. I was listening to Brooke share how she structures her retreats, and it inspired me a bunch to where we all commit to growth. And for Brooks, you have to have 100-point growth, add 6 level 1 ambassadors, and get 2 people to silver in your levels 1 and 2s or whatever. I'm making it so that you have to do one of those 3 things. So you can earn it based off of point growth. You can earn it off of adding level 1s or silvers. not necessarily all three, but if you get all three, that is awesome. Like that's what we want to see. And Carrie and I were talking about holding ourselves to the same standard, because like we were Angie was chatting about this too, like getting ourselves back into personal sponsoring mode. Honestly, that's what creates momentum. So the retreat is like a growth retreat, like an all-in retreat. And then for people that aren't Ruby or above, I'm thinking I'll find a house that's like an Airbnb that will host like 20-ish, 25. And that way there's space for, if we have runners on our team that are going to be the future Rubies, the future Jewels, that there's a space for them. So they need to do all three things, which is point growth, personal sponsoring, and developing silvers. So anyways, it's going to lift the lid for us all to work hard, but we'll have 90 days to do it. So it's retroactive to November 1st. And it ends the very end of January, and the retreat is February 20th through 23rd. So that's the date. And I haven't booked a place yet, but we're looking in Florida. So it's warm and beautiful and sunny. Six minutes. Who has something they want to share? Sure, you all have something to say. It's on the team page, Gretchen. Yeah. So you can earn it based, like as a Ruby or above, you can earn it based on point growth, adding level 1s or silvers in your 1 through 3. Yeah, you can check it out. Save it to the notes in your phone. And share with your teams too, because I did a little live on the page on Saturday, because I know how people think. A lot of people will look and be like, oh, I can't earn that. I'm like, yeah, you can. Like, why can you not grow by gold points? All of us can grow by gold points. Even if they're brand new and they're a silver ambassador, in a 3-month period, if they're truly working their business, they're sponsoring level 1s and they're duplicating silvers, there's no reason why they can't grow by that amount if they're committed to it, you know? But I mean, it's going to take them work. Like they're really going to have to work for it. So it'll gather in the true runners that are committed and doing the things.
I'm planning to have a layout for my retreat this weekend where the people that are coming, of course, I only have one Ruby on my team. So my other people that are there, I'm going to help them figure out a way, like map it out. This is what you have to do in these next 3 months in order to earn this retreat. Because guys, like I want my people there, right? I want my people to be at that retreat because I know what it's like when we're together. Just like I said at the beginning of this call, I know what it's like when we're all together. So, and when my people can glean from like top leaders on this team, that's going to be amazing. That's what I want for my people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think mapping it out, like 100 points, that's 20 people. And that's in their entire organization. They don't have to go personally sponsor 20 people themselves in a 3-month period. Although people do that. Like you have people on your team that will go do that if we put the standard out there. So I think we have to raise the people up to do the things and map it out for them. Because a lot of times people are just like, well, I don't know. But if we make it super clear and plain, I think that, you know, that will be super helpful. I'm excited. I think like even with the retreats and different things, like we learn every time we do that. And I'm excited to kind of see how Brooke structures hers and then, you know, create a little workbook for our retreat. I know Amy said that she would do some Enneagram training. I'm sure we'll come back with wonderful things from Brooke's retreat that we can duplicate and help our teams be better at. So yeah, pumped. Okay, so I was going to give everyone homework, and I'm holding myself to this too. So the homework is, if you haven't watched or done the 2020 list and the Chris Harder podcast, to listen to that, but I think everyone did that. But the homework for this week is to make a training video for your team. You don't have to overthink it. It can be something that you're learning from a book. It can be something that you're doing. I think us being visible to our teams is super valuable. So even if it's just like hashtag what I did today, and it's a less than 3-minute video that you can pop in your team thread. It does not have to be long and drawn out, but I think that's the key, is we have to be visible to our team, because a lot of people, little clueless, like they maybe don't have the intuitive, kind of business mindset that we've gathered or gleaned just skill set wise, because we've been doing this for a little while. We have to be visible and show them what we're doing. So make a training video this week. That's your assignment. So, okay. And we'll meet back for another leader call in December.
Hey, Megan. Sorry,
Yeah.
Megan, real quick. Sorry, just running around. I haven't written anything down. Do you mind typing up the homework and putting it in the thread?
Sure.
Getting ready. I haven't stopped to write anything. So,
I will do that.
If you don't mind, thank you.
Yeah. All right. I'll see some of you for the IPA Power Hour at 8 o'clock. All right. Have a great day, guys. Love y'all.